What's up, guys? My name is Andrew Hopper and welcome to the Christian Metalhead Show. This week we're going to be going over my top 10 Christian Metalcore bands. Get right into this week's show. First, we're gonna open with our Bible verse of the day. This is Matthew 5:4. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. 1 second, I'm gonna go and get Andrew Anderson to report this week's Christian metal news. Be right back. Oh well, hello everyone. My name is Andrew Anderson, here to give you the Christian Metal Weekly News. Only thing I have to report today is Wolves at the Gate and Salt State Records just announced that Wolves at the Gate's new album Eclipse will be out July 26th. You can pre-order at wolvesatthegate.merchnow.com. Go and check it out. I'm sure it'll be a sick album. And I'll see you guys next week in the Christian Metal Weekly News. I'm Andrew Anderson. Thanks, Andrew Anderson, for the Christian Metal News. And now, guys, time for my top 10 Christian Metalcore bands. Let's do this. Okay. So, these bands are my top 10 Christian Metalcore bands. I'm sorry if I miss any of your guys' favorites. We'll try and do something in another show where it's like you guys vote for the top 10 metalcore bands for like you guys. But this is my top 10. Okay, so we'll start with number 10. We're gonna run! We play throughout away! Sleeping Giant. Sleeping Giant was always a great band. I thought I was never always like super into all of their music, but whenever I did start listening to them, I got one of their albums and I jammed to it quite a bit. They're a great band and I love what they did, and gonna miss them since they disbanded last year. But the reason why they're number 10 is because as far as like their overall talent and like the guitars and everything, most of the time, wasn't really anything crazy as far as like riffs and stuff like that go. It's pretty, there's some heavy breakdowns and stuff like that, but not really a whole lot of crazy riffing. So they were kind of a stereotypical breakdown band, but I still love their music and what their message and what they were all about. So great band. Number 9 is I, the Breather. They would be further up on the list, but they haven't released an album for like several years, so I kind of am getting sick with like some of their older music. I still like to jam to their music. Yeah, I like to still jam out to their music, but I really wish they would release some new music or something. Kind of just, it's frustrating whenever bands are doing so great and then they're kind of just in the dark and they kind of just disappear. I don't know if they're doing like touring or anything or if they disbanded or what, but that's why they are number 9. Still a great band and amazing genty riffs. Probably like the one main reason why I like them so much is because of like their guitar riffs. A lot of talent and a lot of method and thinking goes into their riffs, and that's one thing that really gets me hooked on a band is good riffs. Next band is War of Ages, number 8. of Ages is a really great band. Whenever I first got into Christian metal music, they were one of the bands that I really got into, and like I got their album. I think it was their first album, Pride of the Wicked, and I really jammed to that album and learned some of their songs, and that really helped me progress as a guitar player, learning some of those really good, original style metalcore riffing. Next band is number 7, For Today.
King of kings, hated and broken down. Why would he live like a servant? King of kings, ascending lower down.
Alright, don't get mad at me, guys, for having them not as like number in the top 5 or something. For Today was an amazing band, a huge influence. They were the band that got me into Christian metal music, but like they're not a band anymore. Like that's why they're kind of further up on this list as number 7. They're still a huge band and a huge influence to me. I wish bands that like disbanded would like get back together every so often and just make an album for their fans, especially like bands that like made it huge. Like For Today was huge in the Christian metal scene, and I wish they would like get to back together and do something. Like Maddie, he still does like his sort of like speech things or whatever that's called, like spoken word, I think. Like he has like a spoken word album, and the other members like the guitarist and bassist, like they started another band called Nothing Left. So it's like, you guys are still doing musical stuff, why don't you just do another album or EP just for fun for your fans? That would be awesome. Anyways, number 6 is Fit for a King.
Disrespected, angry at heart, I feel the pain, I feel the pain. Hatred, it comes in waves, tear me apart, then what's left to save? Monster.
Some people would yell at me for not having them, further up on the list, or like in the top 5, but reason why is like Fit for a King is a huge band, and a lot of people say they're like at the top of the scene right now, which that's awesome, and I'm glad for like their success. Like I love their music, but just some of the other bands that are on the rest of the list, like they just have a little more talent musically, I guess. Fit for a King's a great band, but even for their style, like the metalcore stuff, like I feel like they could do more musically, like with guitars and stuff. Like their last album was sick, and that was like I feel like a huge step up from like their normal stuff, like the pretty much just X's and O's and ones, from that sort of thing. They had a solo in one song, just a lot better riffs, I think. But so they're definitely getting a lot better, but that's kind of still why they're number 6 on the list. Number 5 is Oh Sleeper. Oh Sleeper's an amazing band, and they have some crazy guitar riffing and stuff. And like I said, guys, one thing that just hooks me on a band is their riffing. So I judge a lot based on like a band's guitar riffs and stuff like that. Like I'm a riff guy. Like I love guitar riffs. When I first got into metal, I liked that stereotypical breakdown band stuff where it's just pretty plain and simple breakdowns, not even technical stuff. Yeah, I'm a riff guy. I like guitar riffs. I like sick riffing. Not always technical, but like people can do more to make a good riff. Like bands like, you look at Metallica, like some of their songs that are like the most popular in metal, they're like 5 notes or something. It's just like putting thought into the riffing and feeling into your guitar riffs, not just like that sort of thing. Kind of got off on a trail. Old Sleeper has some really cool riffs. Very technical, I would say. Pretty excited to hear some of their new stuff. They released a new single last year, and I think they're planning an album release sometime this year, hopefully. Old Sleeper is a great band, and great guitar riffing, sweeping, and all sorts of like technical metalcore stuff. Like what metalcore originally was, before like the breakdown band era. Next band is Texas in July. Very similar style of riffing to Oh Sleeper, like the sort of technical style of stuff and like the tapping and stuff like that. I would say Texas in July has some heavier stuff and heavier breakdowns, I would say. Don't get me wrong, guys, like I don't like the stereotypical breakdown bands, but still I like a good breakdown. Like a good song will have the whole song building up to the breakdown, not like a breakdown like every single other transition or whatever. Like a good build up makes a sick breakdown. And Texas in July's got some pretty heavy breakdowns. That's what I would say is kind of different from Oh Sleeper. Next band, number 3, Darkness Divided. This band was amazing. They disbanded last year, I believe. They disbanded, but they released like a farewell EP sort of thing, and that was an amazing EP. And they also have 2 albums and another EP, and the albums are definitely masterpieces among Christian metalcore music, especially. Like there weren't many metalcore bands during like the time whenever they first released their first album that I know of, other than like some of these that are already listed, that had such skill in like the guitars and everything. Also, just like the messages in their songs, really hit hard. That was like one of the reasons I really like Darkness Divided. They're kind of like a clash between As I Lay Dying and Killswitch Engage. Some of those bands, like whenever I got the CD, it was said like for fans of like those bands, and they're a great band. Had some really sick music. Even some of their stuff on their second album was kind of like, getting into like the progressive gent style. Next band is When Forever Ends. Another amazing technical metalcore band. Very talented guitarists. I only just started listening to When Forever Ends just last year, and I really got into their music when I first heard it, and really just been into it ever since I heard it. That's why they are number 2 on the list. They have some amazing guitar talent, just really super technical stuff, finger tapping, like crazy, like 4-finger tapping, and lyrics that hit hard. Overall band, I think they're really going to be going places in the next years as long as they keep at it. I also ordered some of their merch that's going to be on the way, so excited to get that. I think one reason why I like When Forever Ends so much is because they were a newer band, and they were talented. They weren't like, every time I found a newer Christian metalcore band, it was kind of like stereotypical breakdown stuff, which is kind of enjoyable. Like I like some of that just has a really heavy sound and hits hard, but like it just gets old really fast. That's why I think I liked When Forever Ends so much when I first heard them. Just it was really crazy, sweeping and stuff like that. What metalcore originally was, technical riffing, I don't know, it just really hit me hard when I first heard them. And our number 1 band on the list, can you guys guess it? It is none other than our riff kings, Phineas. Over the weeks away to find out this
was meant to see it end. What love was meant to see.
Phineas is just, they got the best riffs in the metalcore scene, I think. There's other bands, and you guys might be surprised I didn't mention August Burns Red, but like, they're super technical and everything, but their music just doesn't hit me as hard, and just doesn't, I don't know, get to me as hard, I guess. Phineas is our #1 band. They have such amazing talent. The vocalist, he hits hard with some brutal vocals, but he has some like beautiful, clean singing vocals, and just has a really talented singer and just amazing range as a vocalist. And then the guitarist Daniel Gailey, I think that's the guitarist right now. I'm pretty sure it's the same guitarist. He's just amazing guitarist. Technical. A lot of thinking goes into the riffings. It's not always super technical riffing. It's just riffs that really just like hit you hard. Like a good riff. It doesn't have to be super technical to be a good riff. Sometimes just catchy stuff like really just hits hard. And a good catchy riff that's super simple with a sick solo is just like piece of art. And that Phineas is just really good at writing amazing riffs. I saw that they were touring with As I Lay Dying, and it was called like the something riff tour, which is really cool. Like, I'm all about the riffs, dude. Those are my top 10 Christian metalcore bands, guys. I hope you guys like them, and comment below what are your top 10 favorite metalcore bands, and we might try to do another metalcore list of top 10 where you guys like vote in polls or something on our Facebook page. So be sure to go and follow my Facebook page. Link will be in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Christian Metalhead show. Oh, that reminds me, we need to do, I'll mention the featured artist of this week, which is Absent from the Body. And if you guys like the band The Showdown, like a Christian sort of thrashy band, I would say The Showdown is basically like the Christian version of Metallica, but I think they're not a band anymore. But Absent from the Body definitely takes that similar sound, like the really thrashy, heavy sound. So if you like sort of the heavy metal, just like heavy metal style, check out Absent from the Body, because they're a great band. That is going to be it for this week's show. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, you can go and check out my solo project, Fire from Heaven, and you can go to my Bandcamp page and check out my music there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Christian Metal forever.